How can men ask for money from another woman when they are in a relationship with their significant other? Now, there's two ways to go about it. Let's make this make sense. So, the one thing about it is that if another man's asking another woman for money while he's in a relationship with his significant other, because the woman, I'll say this, because the woman is on mat leave. She's staying at home, she's a stay-at-home mom, and she is taking care of the house, cleaning, cooking, taking care of the children while the man's providing. But in the meantime, the man is working a full-time job and so-called is providing from that, but the money's not enough. So what he does is he goes and he reaches out to an ex or an ex-friend or whatever, and the ex-friend is not a male, it's a female that they slept with, and he's asking her for money. So asking her for money without consenting or confirming with a significant other. Me personally, my thoughts is that I feel like that will throw your unity out of alignment, your connection out of alignment, because there's an outsider who hasn't been confirmed or invited to come into the relationship to spare money for the family. Like, why is this person even there without consenting with the significant other, right? That's how you build trust. That's how you build a bonding relationship, and that's how you show your loyalty and respect, and that's how you show your love. Like, I don't understand why that is even a thing where men can even feel comfortable enough to take advantage of someone's money to provide for his family when he's the sole provider. He should be able to provide money through different hustles, different jobs, or even starting a business or trading something. You could do something, especially if you bring in an income. What stoops a man so low to go and ask another woman for money that he's been with previously to feed his family without consenting with his significant other? That's a low ball, to be honest. And as a woman, we're looking at principles here. We're not even looking at the fact that, at least he got money to bring home for you and your family. It doesn't work that way, It's the principle behind the fact that they lied, because what if the woman even knew that he was getting money from someone that was an outsider, brought it to his attention when she found an e-transfer from a certain name and then did the knowledge on the name and is like, okay, well, this doesn't look like a person that could be his family member. And then when you ask where you got the money from and he tells you it's from a family friend, and it's like, well, where's this family friend at? How come this family friend hasn't been invited? How come I haven't met this family friend? But there's no answer. But you can tell when someone's lying anyway, because they're not making eye contact. They seem like they're getting frustrated or irritated with the question, and it's like, why does it matter? We still got money to provide for the family. Well, if you're getting money to provide for the family, what are you doing for that money? So yeah, you're exchanging time and energy to conversate with this person to ask to borrow money. My thing is that we're living in a day and age where you just can't ask someone for money and they give it to you, especially if it's not your mother or your father or like really close family member that knows your financial struggles. And let me tell you something. When you go and you ask another woman for money to support you and your family, and you tell that person that you're struggling, you're having financial struggles, what kind of spell are you putting on the whole, not even just the whole unity, but yourself first? You're putting a spell on yourself by making that bonding contract, by receiving the money because you quote unquote told this woman that you have a financial struggle, right? But then because you're exchanging energy with your queen and you're being the father figure that's supposed to protect and all that, now you're introducing and you're also putting a binding spell on your family. So what does that mean? You basically manifesting a family struggle, a struggle for your whole family just to get a little bit of change. It wasn't even like it was thousands of dollars where this woman is putting that man in a situation where it's evolving him and his family and whatnot. It was more like breadcrumbs. Like, okay, I need it for a couple of things and that's it. But then when you get caught, you feel bad for doing it and whatnot. But it's like, why can't people, not even just people, yeah, I'll say people, because men don't just do this, by the way. It's not just men, it's women as well. Why can't we be transparent about what we're doing with our actions? Because we're not thinking before we even act, right? So when the man gets caught, he wants to say, I did it for us. And also, when the man was even asked the question, he basically said that, it might have been a family friend, but I swear on our unity and our children. When you swear on your children, that's another low ball. Like, what kind of man are you to swear on your child, to lie to a woman that you quote unquote love just for some money, something very temporary, and you're not even getting thousands and thousands of dollars from this person? And honestly, men, you could do better. If you need to provide, there's other ways to get money besides being lazy and asking another woman who might be vulnerable enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna fall for this and I'm gonna make sure I give you that money, no problem. But what are you doing in exchange? I need to know from audience, if you ever did this to your significant other, what did you do in exchange for money? Because from what I understand, if you want that money, you're gonna have to give up the honey. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I see things. And when I'm talking about honey, I'm not just talking about sexual activity. I'm talking about, what are you saying to sweeten up this person, to entertain the fact that, they're giving you money and whatever. And especially if it's an older woman. Older women love their young men. And, nothing's wrong with that. However, if you're in a relationship with someone and you're getting money from an older man or an older woman, you're gonna have to sweeten them up to get the money, honey. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to sweeten them up a little bit. With that being said, my thoughts on that is that you gotta be honest and transparent with your significant other, because if you get caught, you're basically micro-cheating because you got no evidence. You're deleting messages now at this point, you're deleting calls, you're making calls while your significant other is not even around you. You're doing things real sneaky, and it's like you want to be this divine being, but why is the unity getting blocked from the abundance that's supposed to come in? Because that man was not loyal. He wasn't a loyal man. Let me tell you, this is how you build trust within a relationship. It all starts with principles. Build the solid foundation and apply those principles to your foundation. And if you're gonna get money from another woman, at least confirm with your significant other first and be honest, especially if it's for the family, because you look like your intentions were not pure. And you was up to no good because you're sugarcoating and saying, I wasn't really doing nothing besides getting money. You sound like a damn liar that was looking for some action, or you had to give the action up just to get the money. You look guilty. And then on top of that, when you confront them and ask them, like, okay, so why don't you make a call and prove to me that you did not exchange energy, proves that you did not have any sexual activity or have to do anything sexually or entertaining for that money. And let your significant other know that you're being honest, because that's the only way that will prove that they didn't do anything. You got to get that woman on the phone or that man on the phone. Put them on the phone, put it on speakerphone. And as for the conversation, you have to have a regular conversation like how you would have it when your significant other is not around. You have to have that conversation like your significant other is not even around. Why? Because you have to keep it 100% to show that you didn't do anything wrong. Don't be going behind closed doors and texting that person talking about I'm going to give you a call later on or a text. I need you to answer these questions. And I'm going to ask you this, that, and the third. I'm going to ask you if I ever got the money, if I had to do anything for the money, or ask if I had to, have sex with you for the money. No, let's just not get on the phone. Let's just be truthful. Since you already got caught, you might as well let it all spill out now, because the more you keep lying, the more it's going to catch up on you later on. Put that person on the phone. Once they get on the phone, you have a regular conversation with them, and you, just like how you would when your significant other is not even around, and you talk to them like, I miss being with you. When's the next time I can see you? It's been a while. Like, when's the last time we even seen each other? Do you miss me? Something along those lines. You gotta get down in the nitty gritty and don't just get to the point where it's like, did I have to do anything for money? How much money did I take from you? No. That phone call that's being made and they talk like that phone call, literally, that phone call was staged. If you listen to how they're speaking and you listen to the other person on the other line and they start acting like, what's going on? Is everything okay? What's wrong? They're playing around. They know exactly what's going on. They know exactly what's going on. They know the exact answer that you had asked because the question that you're asking was something that you probably already had in your mind. Like, that person staged that call. So just keep in mind, everyone, that if you were in a relationship with someone and they had to ask another person, a man or a woman, for money to support you and your family, and they tell them and they put that binding spell on you saying, okay, we're struggling and I'm gonna get a little bit of money, breadcrumbs. If they do that, leave them. You deserve better. You deserve better. A man that protects, not a boy that looks for the easy way to get money. Leave them. Or a little girl to get money. Leave them. They don't deserve your sacredness. They don't deserve your divine being. They do not deserve your divine energy. Let me know in the comments if you ever experienced this and what you did to take action. Peace.